Alright, good morning everybody. Welcome guys. Welcome to the London session live stream brought to you by Monster Money Trading. This is your host Connor Abrams and today is CPI day. So we've got CPI for the US dollar. Gonna be a very interesting one. As we know, before these big events, sometimes the volume just isn't there. So we'll be here for London session, do the markup, and then see if we get some really clean setups. If not, then I'm just saving my bullets for CPI. So GJ here, by the looks of things, is looking really good. If we just go out to the daily quick, you can see that yesterday's daily candle closed nice and bullish. We had a little bit more of that wick to fill, but we've actually broken above quite significant highs. So we are at the highest point basically since the 20th of December. And you can see here we are just moving very strong, bullish, continuing to create new highs. And then if we look to the left, it's quite a far way to the left. But we've still got some clean traffic moving up to 166, 840, 850. Right up here. Alright, and then current price action. I was looking for some pullbacks this morning. So we've got a pullback, not quite into these previous highs right here, but you can see that this area right here with all these wicks, this is just a general rejection area. We've retested that area, formed support, and your hourly candle closing here in a minute looks like it will close above resistance. So this is a really beautiful setup actually. Previous 4 hour was also nice and bullish with a wick to fill. We've just about filled that wick. If we break previous 4 hour highs, like I say, we've got range to move up here. We've got about, not as big as I thought, 26 pips. Wow, okay, but the setup looks really good. So we'll see if we're closing above 166,500. We have got bars planned above here. Like I've got marked up, you can see I was looking for some pullbacks here, even deeper pullbacks into 166. But I think, in terms of what will actually set up, I don't really see that lining up for today. Unless London Open maybe gives us a deeper pullback, we'll just see what happens. Gold, looking at gold. Alright, we had quite a strong move up through Asian session. So we can see some demand here in gold. I see DXY is also pretty soft this morning. So yesterday we closed bullish there on the daily. But we've basically moved up and tapped into a level of resistance here on the daily on gold. So in terms of targets, if you were taking buys, I think this would be a pretty solid area to be taking profits. And we might just see volume die out now that we've tapped into that resistance. Like I say, with the CPI later, markets are anticipating that news. We can already see a bit of retracement from that level. I could see buys off 2015 if we could form a nice support at that level to move back up to 2020 and potentially even higher. But we just, like I say, have to keep in mind with CPI later, to take any trades now will more likely be just in and out and taking a little bit of profit and, you know, coming back later in the day. Not really looking for that move all the way up to 2030 this morning. Hey Kenton, how's it, bro? Long time no see. How's the trading going? GJ. So right here, we can see we've closed above resistance on the hourly. 30 minutes, we can also see that we've closed above this resistance. Even on the 15, I think you just basically. So I just rounded this level up to 166,500. But either way, we haven't really had a solid closure above there. And then this current candle has no bottom wick. So that's just a no-go. So you can see we had that push up. You know, that's just the way things go. I'm not really feeling like I'm missing out on anything. Even if we do break the highs now and just push up, you know, I would just call it for what it is and say that that wasn't my trade. But if I could see this hourly candle come back, create that bottom wick before breaking the highs once again, you know, then I could see potential entry opportunities here. I may even just wait for London Open. I'm not convinced with these ranges. I don't know why. It's like there's very low volume. I mean, there's clean movement. But like 20 pip range would probably have like 15 pip stops here. Doesn't make sense. So maybe London Open brings us a little bit of a deeper pullback, and maybe we get that pullback to 166, 250, 230. I really like the setup here, the fact that we've come back down to create a bottom wick. Like I say, if we break the highs now, that looks a little bit better. But I really like to wait for London Open for GJ, because we know that that open can bring liquidity grabs before continuing on up. And just looking at the current ranges, there's actually not that much volume. Hey, morning Wayne, morning. Morning Gabriel, Camson, Ronnie. Hey, what's up, Jared? Did you go for a run yesterday?
Yeah, nah. I ended up doing yoga last night.
Yoga.
Yeah, like stretching type. I don't know what it was.
Oh yeah.
No, my body's lacquer sore, so I thought let me rather stretch it out and then today at gym go for a lacquer run.
Okay.
And yourself?
Nah.
Wow. Okay. I'm shocked, dazed and confused. God.
Didn't we speak about that
no,
quite late yesterday?
Yeah, no, we did.
See, bro, it's too late. It was getting
starting
dark.
to go dark when we spoke about it. Yeah, no way. I spoke about it yesterday.
Yeah, that went out the window very quickly, so we need to get back into it. 10Ks a week. I don't think that's a bad goal.
Yeah. Just every time I log into Strava, Wayne's done another 5K.
Jeez.
Jeez, man runs, bro.
So we are getting that steeper bottom wick, grabbing some liquidity. What may be nice is if we actually get that retest of 166, 230 before London Open. Maybe we can react to that level, form a support before London Open even. And just in terms of sells, I know some of you may be wondering about sells. You know, I don't see it. My perspective, I don't see sells here. Just because we are at such a high point does not mean you start to run and rush into sells. We are still very much bullish, higher time frame, lower time frame. Fundamentally, everything is really lining up bullish. So unless you actually start to shift bearish in structure, or potentially, like I say, if you're shifting bearish in structure, that could lead to then deeper pullback phases where you could take advantage of sells, although most likely short-term sells, keeping in mind how bullish we are. So really, I don't see any sells unless we are breaking below 166, breaking below some of this bullish structure. Because like I said, from my perspective, I've even got pullbacks planned to 166 for further buys. Because right now, I know that we could say that this is a low, but it's just a brief period of consolidation. This is essentially our previous low. So if you're looking at structure, until we break below this low, we're still forming higher highs and higher lows. We would need to break below 166 to be forming new lows. So structurally speaking, we are bullish here. So we can get rejections off of this area. Not really an area I would be looking for sells. Like I say, based off the fundamentals as well, there's no real reason to be selling here. Obviously at these highs we can see profit taking, but to be counter trend trading so aggressively, that's not my style. In fact, I would probably personally only be adapting to sells below 165, 200. This is from yesterday. What's up, Retta? So tell me something about boom and crash. Don't know, bro. Synthetic indices are very interesting. Obviously, when trading things like boom and crash, I think that is essentially gambling. Although if you have a system based on purely technical analysis and you can follow that system with discipline, you could be okay. But boom and crash is extremely, erratic, is that the word? Sporadic? It's just all over the place. If it's what I'm thinking of, those synthetic indices like step index on deriv, yeah, you gotta be careful with those. Essentially, it's just an algorithm creating or imitating price action, but there's nothing really driving that price other than just, like I say, an algorithm. Whereas when we trade something like pound yen, we've got an understanding of what's going on with the pound and with the yen, and the difference between these two currencies and what's potentially driving price. So having that fundamental understanding is extremely important. With things like synthetic indices, you don't have fundamentals to back any of that price movement. Only gold sells. For some reason, Stefan, I trust you. Daily strong bullish as well. No more signs of exhaustion. Yeah, I mean, we've just broken above significant highs here. We've just made new highs. So obviously making new highs, we could see some profit taking. But generally when we're making new highs or breaking above previous highs, you're anticipating to make new highs and continue to drive up. And you know, with the clean traffic to the left, I could still see us easily pushing up into 166.850. Good morning, Connor. Quick question. Are there any known issues with Social Tools Copier? You shared a different solution recently. What is the advantage of setting up a copy this way versus social trader tools, whatever it is? From the reviews that I've seen on Trustpilot, it's not the most reliable. But one of the issues with that is when you turn your computer off, it will stop. So you need to get a VPS, a virtual private server, which essentially you'll get a remote desktop. So you have this server running your MetaTrader and your copy trader, and it's always running. You turn your computer off, the VPS is still running in the background. Not in the background, on a server somewhere else. So essentially you'll have your MetaTrader on your phone, your computer's off, and the VPS is still running, your copy trade is still running, and when you place trades on your phone or manage on your phone, it will copy over to your other account that you've got the EA set up. So let me just get the link for this video. It's quite a lengthy process, but from what I've seen, it is actually very reliable. I had an issue where it didn't put in a trade necessarily randomly, but I think a trade got delayed. One of my inputs was wrong. So you just need to make sure you have all the correct inputs when you are setting up the EA. But I'm going to send a link for basically what I've done.
I actually forgot about that. Did you sort that out? Has that happened again?
Yeah, no, it hasn't happened again. I think it was one of the inputs I had incorrectly, or not incorrectly, but I had it a certain way that it delayed some trades.
Yeah,
So
it was
like
possibly like GTC, like you said the buy stop, for example, then when it got to that price again, even though you deleted it, then it just froze, type thing.
I'm not too sure what happened in that situation, but it was actually on the Monday I woke up and there were trades open. And I had taken trades on the Friday. I just set up the copy trader. So I think in the process of just setting it up and placing trades, something didn't fill, and then it was only filled on Monday. It was delayed, and then the trade was placed on Monday. I don't know.
I get you.
But it hasn't happened again. So yeah, that VPS I think is extremely important if you're using a copy trader, and then actually using an EA instead of one of these like third-party things like social trader tools, where you're just putting your account details in and rely on them to copy the trades. I think actually having an EA that does it directly is much better. I mean, I place a trade on my main account, and within the blink of an eye, it's on my second account. It copies pending orders, yes, yeah. Pending orders, market execution, management. So if you close half, and you can adjust your lot size. So if your one account is a bit bigger than the other, there's money management inputs where you can say, okay, on this account, my main account, it must copy over by X amount or times whatever lot size I use on my main account. So if you use a 1 lot on your main account, you want to use a 3 lot on your second account, you'll use a lot multiplier, and then it copies it through. And then when you close half of your 1 lot, it'll close half of the 3 lots on your second account. So it does pretty much everything you would want to do. I mean, there's nothing that it doesn't do that I personally need. So gold is giving us a bit of a pullback here. Based off the 4-hour, there was a lot of volume in that previous 4-hour candle sheath.
I actually was awake during Asian that time, and I was watching gold run up, and I was like, yeah, there must be something crack-lacking in the world there.
Well, I mean, did you have a look at what I sent to the Discord?
Yeah, no, I did.
Yeah, there was some.
Taiwan.
I don't think that was a major thing. No, that's just noise really, but it could be. But I think this was more result from some of those Fed speakers yesterday, because they were addressing things like the banking situation, just the risks of tightening monetary policy. Because yeah, I mean, it's an interesting situation now where last year with the Fed raising rates, because that brings strength to the dollar, we saw sell-offs on gold. But now it's gotten to a tipping point where the more they raise rates, the more fears come into the market, recession scares, fears that something's going to break. As we've already seen with the banking story, SVB, that fallout came as a result of higher rates. So now the more the Fed raises rates, although it's creating a stronger dollar, that essentially is damaging to the economy and creates fear and uncertainty in the markets. So we're starting to kind of see, or we may move into this phase where we're seeing gold and the dollar moving up in confluence. So even though like CPI today, for instance, if it comes out higher than forecasted or higher than previous, that could bring strength to the dollar, and we may even get short-term sells on gold. I think essentially that higher inflation, which in turn means higher rates by the Fed, that I think will essentially lead to further moves to the upside on gold as well. What do you think about GJ? Right now we're just consolidating.
OGU is a banger of a pair.
Hmm?
OGU is a banger of a pair.
Yeah, no, it is.
Oh, I was having a laugh at that there.
Why? Take me for a
No,
pulse.
just no, that's when you get into that swing trade, price doesn't move at all for like 24 hours.
Bro, it had such a nice drop at like London close, and then
Yeah.
the 4-hour close very nice and bearish, and I thought, okay, cool. Surely this 4-hour will drive down, and then it had a pullback retest of that consolidation from that New York session, and I was like, okay, cool. It looks like it's forming resistance here, so I'm gonna go break even, and it just didn't really stop going back up. But I mean, the idea is still valid. We're still in and around that area that we were yesterday. But I think now it will depend on CPI if we get that move to the downside. So this was basically the swing trade that was sent to the Discord yesterday on GU. You know, it's still respecting the stop loss area. But I didn't really want to be sitting in this leading into CPI, so took a break even there. But I mean, that idea is still valid. If we get that higher inflation today, higher CPI, you know, we'll see these lows quite easily again. 1.23500. And it's setting up, but I mean, I would just want to stay out of this now. Gonna leave it there. TP smashed. Yeah, anyway, that was a painful trade. Because we had to sit through this consolidation here. From like 1 o'clock to 5 o'clock, it was just consolidating. But it was respecting that key area right there. Eventually had that move down, went break even. What happens with gold when CPI negative? That should be bad for the dollar, because if CPI is negative, showing improvements in inflation, although yes, that is actually good news, what that will mean is the Fed can potentially slow down with their raising of rates, possibly cut rates, and that essentially is going to weaken the dollar. So it's not necessarily about, okay, we have high inflation or we've improved. It's about, okay, what does this mean for the Fed, and what is their plan moving forward, or what are they most likely to do moving forward? Markets are looking forward, moving on expectation, and we have the next Fed meeting on the 3rd of May. So if we do have higher inflation, what we'll see is the market's pricing in the next FOMC meeting, anticipating another raise in rates, which we can see they are pricing in, let's see, I think 72% chance. Sorry, don't know what happened there. So there's a 67% chance that they raise rates at the next FOMC meeting. Now, like I say, that essentially should bring strength to the dollar. But I think in this scenario, if CPI is coming out negative, like I say, that will weaken the dollar, and we should see that further upside on gold. Spreads on funded. I've never really had a problem with it, but guys do complain. It's not terrible. Sometimes you get quite bad slippage though. So GJ getting some deeper pullbacks here. You know, just based off the 4 hour here, we could even have pullbacks to this previous area around 165,800. You know, we could easily get another leg down, support formed, and then continue up to 166,850. That level to the left. So it might not be a move that plays out in this session. And if that's the case, you know, then for me there would just be no trades. Because I know that this is going to be the highest probability setup. I'm not looking to trade the pullback because right now we are extremely bullish. And as we pull back down like this, we could just be grabbing liquidity, retesting previous key areas to continue moving up. Jared, what do you mean you can't be a fundamental trader with a prop firm? I think you mean you can't be, what's this guy's name? FBK. You can't do buy stops and sell stops with news.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say, that you can't like just log on at 3:30, place your order, and then expect to pass a challenge, because that slippage is the raw.
That's not a fundamental trader. That's a gambler.
Okay, a fundamental gambler. You can't be a coin flipper when it comes to prop firms.
Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't really make it very far if you're doing that either way, with your own money or not. You know, DXY is really respecting this 102 level very nicely. But I think we'll just have to see, you know, later in the day with CPI, whether we hold that area or not. If we do get higher than expected or higher than previous CPI, you know, expect something like that. And if numbers are improved, so lower than forecasted, lower than previous, then expect possible moves to 101.5. And you can use that to correlate with any dollar pairs. Like I say with gold, this correlation might be out of the window now. But if you're trading something like GBP USD, this correlation applies. Euro USD, USD CAD. Although there's actually CAD. It's CAD interest rates today, same time as CPI. So yeah, just be aware of that. Okay, not same time as CPI, but there is CAD interest rates today. I think we should all be aware of this, as this could bring, you know, overall volatility, even if it's not a CAD pair. you may see some volatility. So if you're in positions before that news, you know, you could manage, possibly secure some profit, have stops at break even. So we're tapping into this 2015 level. We'll see if we form support here. Let's just see. If we could form support leading into London Open, that might be quite nice to move back up to 2020. I see this previous 30 didn't have much of a bottom wick. My coffee's already cold. Winter's coming. I just need to go pop it in the microwave quick. Fuck, I was muted. I'm a crypto boy today.
She's gone. I agree with Ned. I don't know how you do microwave coffee.
What do you mean? It was just cold. I had to reheat it.
No, but dude, once coffee goes cold, it's never the same.
Nah, it's fine after you put it in the microwave.
No.
Just, I can't drink cold. Well, it has to be like burn your mouth hot, otherwise it's just, it doesn't hit the spot.
That Tonga Ali that makes him drink coffee like that.
Nah, I finished my Tonga ID now.
You rate it up, sir?
I don't know. I really don't know, because it's difficult to say, because the timing, like I had just started my diet, so obviously that is having a major impact. I can't just say, oh, like, yo, it's fucking amazing. I got shredded when I just started a diet plan, and that's actually what, you know, was making a difference. I love that Andrew Tate is in here. I don't know who this is, obviously, but obviously it's not Andrew Tate, but I fucking love it. My Forex funds spread. Look at Andrew Tate talking about my Forex funds.
Have you seen the video of him speaking about Forex?
Yeah, I have. I can't remember what he said about it, but I know that he's mentioned Forex before.
He said that they asked him, so how do you make money with Forex? And he's like, I've got no fucking idea. I just pay a top class analyst to do it for me. you know, and then I get 10% a month. It's easy money. I was like, dude, slide a Billy this way and then I'll trade it for you.
Straight.
I have a better plan, bro. Let's start a prop firm and then we just get traders to make money for us. We choose the top 10 and then we take them. We can sit back and just wait for the signal to come through. You keen?
I don't know. Eh?
I think I'm gonna start with
Yo.
that monster money trading signals. I think I'll make money off them.
Yeah, that's admin. Starting a prop firm. Jeez.
Sure.
And then you have to deal
That's
with
not
all
the-
the guys who flip and violate their accounts and, oh, what happened? I don't know what happened. Fucking you
We
violated the
market
rules, you dumbass.
No, Connor, we have Jared for those messages we saw. Remember? Just nice. That's what we have.
Yeah,
So
we're gonna need someone nice in customer support because I'm not dealing with customers like that.
I'll give you a phone call, customer support. But I don't mind phoning them. Why them?
Oh, good. Every 30 minutes, we're gonna have somebody send us an email that one of our staff were incredibly rude and called them
Violation.
with a P word.
Like you're not feeling bad enough for violating your account, then you get me in your ear. You don't. No, I'm joking.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're gonna say. Fuck. Well, this is looking nice on gold. 20 minutes until London Open, so let's see if we get this support forming.
Excuse me. I have a serious question for Jared and Connor. What's wrong with both of you? Huh? Don't you see I send signals there in our private group on WhatsApp? Huh? You don't take my signals.
When did you send a signal?
Signals.
I said yesterday, I said buy gold. As I left the stream, I went and I looked at gold and I saw gold and I was like, and then
yeah, I
Played
saw that
out,
afterwards. It did play out very nicely.
I break even though. Played out to got my break even point of 21 pips, and then it played up to about 40 pips, but I came back to break even on the runner. So
Yeah, it was these bars above here.
it was at 2003, and then I bought it from 2003, and break even was at 2005.6, I think, 7. And then yeah, it just ran up a little bit more than that, and then it came back to break even. The next candle took me out on break even for the hour, so I didn't get anything else of this big push.
Honestly,
Not that I would have been in it at
remember
that.
that message.
Don't lie to
I
me, bro. I
must
can
have
see it.
just-
Listen, if you click information on WhatsApp, it shows you read the message. Okay.
I believe you, but I don't remember reading it.
Yeah, even your uncle screaming at you from the outside. Look, there's your uncle screaming again. Don't play with
Oh, flip
Yeah.
Ned. Ned makes me laugh.
Jeez, imagine drinking a pre-workout before you trade.
I don't know about that. I know guys drink pre for gaming and that. I don't know, like.
It's a different pre, bro. It's a completely different pre-workout, Connor.
Is
That
it?
pre-workout is completely different, bro. You're not cooking while you're sitting here. You're just like zoned in. It's like
Yeah, I was
it's
gonna
like being
say.
far and zoning on something, bro. It's the same thing. Like you just zoned into your screen and like you don't get tired. Your brain doesn't like slow down while you're playing.
I was gonna say, bro.
you-
Jeez, my pre-workout. If I had to take that while I'm sitting here at the
Health
chart,
wise, take some
Gonna
health
see
wise,
me
bro. And Connor, the
flipping-
way I was taking pre-workout, bro.
doing something here.
What? Yeah,
Jeez.
bro. I would have. You think you're breaking your controller and shit? Now, my friend, hop on some pre-workout and play games, dude. You'll have nothing left after the first day.
Yeah, you'll see me
Sure.
pacing up and down. No ways I could sit.
Jeez. Have you
Hey,
ever
Con-
taken concerta before trading?
Oh, nah.
I have. You don't do it, bro.
By the way,
Don't
is there
do
echo?
it, dude.
Uh,
Nah, dude. What?
Okay.
That we need to send that Wi-Fi company of yours a congratulations email. Bro. Thank you.
Oh, what? Oh, because of this.
Oh, shit.
Understand.
Yeah, just say, yeah,
Listen,
whatever
Con,
you
I was
guys
gonna
think
ask
to
you,
Nicky, we appreciate it.
Hey, I'm a moody, Jared. Listen, we haven't seen each other for a long time. Connor, do you want some hellfire, by the way?
Nah, I'm okay, thank
You
you.
good?
Yeah.
And I'm serious though. I'm not joking now.
No, I'm also serious. I had some I like the stim free, no caffeine. But I
Yeah, I
did
need
have
to
one
get me
with
some.
caffeine, and I've just finished it, so I'm like, nah, I'm
No,
kind
I'm
of
just
done.
asking because I literally have a closed Hellfire that's not gonna get used, and then I have like a half a tub of Hellfire still. So I have like 1.5 tubs that's just chilling.
Sell it to
I'm not
Josh.
gonna use it. Nah, I don't give a fuck about Josh, bro.
I'm sure someone will buy it from you, or just give it away.
Give it to someone, bro. Hellfire is a bastard. Trust me, bro. I know that. I learned the hard way.
Jeez.
Nah, but
Yeah,
there's
you
a
can say it more
pre-workout
than anyone,
called-
Nico.
There's a pre-workout called Psychotic, bro. That thing will leave you feeling like you're literally smoking.
I'll move that thing, don't you? Jared, me and pre-workout were best friends, bro. Up until it hurt me. Now we're not friends
Yeah.
no more.
I always think about that shit every time I have pre. I'm like, fuck, okay, half a serving. Shot. That's enough for me.
You said it is something in your head now, hey Connor. Every time you take a pre-workout,
Every time.
every time. But trust me, dude.
I'm
even
like,
me,
I can't wait for the bottle to finish so I can get it out of my life. I'm like, I like it, but not that much. But I have to finish it.
Bro.
I've got it. Pumps are nice.
No, Wayne, there's no crash, bro. If you take enough pre-workout, you don't crash till you sleep, my friend. You should know this. This is how it works.
Jeez.
Or you just
Yeah,
don't
but you
sleep.
think I was taking 4.5 scoops of that shit at a time, bro, for a long time.
No,
man.
man, Nico.
Yeah.
4.5.
That's why I had a stroke, you fucking idiot.
And
Why do you
Red
think I had a
Bulls.
stroke? Because I was monsters,
And-
not
Yes,
Red Bulls.
that's like pushing the limits of the human body.
Well, bro, I told you, I ain't gonna stop until I break, and then I broke, so... Is what it is now. Just lost some vision, that's about it. It's not too bad. Only 10% vision that I lost.
Yes, Nico.
What? I can't be upset and bleak and depressed about it now, can I? Yes, that I just not see a sexy mug. Oh my goodness. Wow.
Did he ever get his cap, eh?
Not a fuck, dude. I have to go fetch it. It's finished. I just haven't driven that way.
Is it? Yo, nah, come
Yeah.
on, Nico. I'm busy wearing a fucking Luno hat, man.
Luno the crypto.
Yo, we're going to the moon today, boys.
Wow.
With CPI. Come on.
Oh,
Want some money to the
They
moon.
actually finished it last week already, Akon.
Yeah?
They finished it like last week, Thursday already.
Is
Your
it?
cap.
Oh, well, I'm keen to get it.
Yeah, when I go that way.
Where is it?
you are going that way.
Chiselers.
Yeah, it is a bit out of the way.
A bit. From where I live.
Even for
Yeah.
me, it's cock far out of the way. That's where I used to do my
Connor,
courses.
please. Nothing is far from you in your car. I thought you understood this.
Oh, that's true.
The name
Except
of
when there's lots
supplement.
of potholes, bro. Then I drive slower than anybody.
Yes, bro. How much is a tire gonna cost you if you kaboof it?
6K.
I don't know, bro. I just flipping swap. Don't look, just swap.
Okay,
Connor,
Wayne. Okay, nothing is far in the town you live. Yes, calm yourself. We don't all live in fucking a land, okay? In a country. We live in a city. Look at Connor.
Heart attack,
Oh,
fat burner. Yesterday.
Yes, that sounds like an odd take, my friend.
Citrulline malate. Malate? Yeah. I think that's in most pre-workout. Citrulline. I think that's what opens your veins. Vasodilator.
What do you take on, by the way?
I actually use Hellfire, the stimulant-free one.
Oh.
Yeah.
You think I can take that, man? Just because it's stimulant free.
Yeah, I
Caffeine's the
mean,
reason. Blacked out. So
if caffeine's the reason, then yeah, you should be able to.
I'm sure I could. Yo, I need something, bro. I haven't cooked in the gym for since before that.
But you're not gonna cook,
Since
that's the thing. It's just gets the blood flowing.
maybe I can add a proper Hellfire scoop, just one in there. You know what I mean?
Jeez.
Best place to take, fuck yes, it's Ned. There's not enough
I
fucking
agree.
weights in the gym, my friend. Yo.
You're gonna get the wrong kind of pump. What work are you doing? Yeah, I think that's the question.
Why do I have
I've
mods like
heard
this?
that you can do. I've heard that you can do micro there. But apparently it helps.
Hey, Con,
Even
can you make this account a mod, please? Because it's a different profile for this laptop and stuff.
Yeah, I was thinking about it now. I just can't do it from my laptop.
I don't know how it works. Take your time, no rush. I'll feel left out till then. Buys above 2023, bro. Well, what's happening next year?
I have the ability to hide this user from channel 4 now. Imagine I did that. Yeah, that'd be swag.
Wait, what? What did you say, Jared?
I have the ability to hide the user from channel, like the account that you've got now, so then you could never message on the chat again.
Yo, that's swag.
Yeah,
I have an elbow that hurts a jaw.
I've made you a mod though.
You're
I
now
wonder, can
standing
mods
right.
hide other mods?
When
No,
did this happen, bro? They've never used to send a thing and say you're a mod. Now they send someone tell you you're a mod.
11 minutes. Jeez.
Weekend
I
ban,
press
you
on.
Yes, Wayne.
If I press on like another mod, it just says go to channel report or block. So I can like block like Niku, for example, but then you guys will see it. I just won't see it.
Yeah, but that's the thing. We wanted to in the beginning, Con, I hope you've taken off that mod from back then. Someone that was a mod that shouldn't be a mod anymore. I don't know if you took it away.
I'll look in the back end. I don't think I have, eh? I don't think it'll make a difference, but...
No, of course not. But fuck them. They don't get the right to that now. Yes, yes.
Yeah, anyway. Okay, so GJ here. Based off the 15 minute, you know, we've closed below 166.230, which is these previous highs to the left. And you can see here, just based off the price action, these candles the way we're forming, I do think that there is more range to move down. With volume, if we're breaking the lows here, we could see further pullbacks to 166. Now, as discussed, I'm not really interested in those sells. Like I say, based off the price action, I could see that move playing out, but I would rather wait for the bars to set up here, or just stay out of this. I'm not looking to be too adaptive this morning. If my setups I've planned don't come to me, then I would rather just save my bullets for CPI. I'm not in a rush to get into a position. Even if I can see, okay, it looks like we may move down here. Like I say, as planned, what I'm looking for is pullbacks to 166 for more bars. Based off the 4 hour, I mean, our previous 4 hours still bullish. Technically, if we're still respecting previous 4 hour lows, we could easily come back flip bullish on this 4 hour. Otherwise, there's even room to retest this previous 4 hour resistance at 165,800. So GJ not looking amazing right now. But gold is forming quite a nice support at 2015 as planned. Like I say, your previous 4 hour was very bullish, It's not out of the ordinary to see a bit of a correction of such a strong move to the upside. And I could now see this current candle after creating this nice bottom wick flipping back bullish, and then using the 30-minute here in terms of entries. If we are taking an entry like this, we can use that 4-hour flip as a break-even point.
Oh yeah, if you do remember, please remember for me to tell you what happened with the editing software last night.
Okay.
You're screwed, dude.
One hour on Goldilocks is my only concern. Goldilocks, eh? No, you definitely have a point. The 1 hour doesn't look amazing. But like I say, based off the 4-hour here, the daily, and then the 30-minute forming support, I think we'll look alright to move up here. Also, what we tend to see is, this is one of the things I was looking at with candles with no wicks. So we've got a really baby wick there on that previous 30, but I mean, looking at it like that, there's no real wick on that previous 30. And something I've noticed is, to determine whether these candles will have range to continue in that direction or reverse, is actually just looking at, to the left, is there range to the next level? Is there enough volume in that direction? If not, then there's a higher probability of seeing a reversal. So right here, you can see that we've got this support level at 2015, marked up here from last week Thursday. We had that resistance, formed support now, and you can see that 30 minutes closed right at that level with not enough range to continue moving down. On top of us actually having a lot of bullish momentum on the 4-hour, I think that just adds confluence for us to continue moving up. $15-minute here obviously also looks pretty clean, but 100% understand the hour doesn't look ideal. But looking at this wick that we are leaving behind, I don't think it looks too bad, because this wick is now indicating rejection to 2015, and with London Open volume coming in, we could easily see that volume coming back into the upside here. However, I would like to see a bottom wick being formed on the new hourly candle before breaking the high, so that I can get involved. So that would look something like this. Candle opens up, forms a bottom wick, and then comes back, flips bullish, breaks these highs right here. Got 3 minutes to go.
Hey, Con.
I just walked away.
Oh, okay, that's fine. I'll ask you, Jared. Hey, Jared,
Yeah.
do you think we should laugh at these memes about dollar crashing?
It's just,
I
I've
don't
been
know,
watching videos on it, and it's ridiculous.
bro. The amount of things I've seen about Putin with other presidents or other important people, bro. And then it's just like this weird music that's edited over it, bro. I don't know if I should laugh or if I should be very concerned. Like, I'm in between right now.
Yeah, but I think it's also because one of the guys that I watched, he spoke about, he went through like headlines over the years about the dollar being replaced, and it was like there was one in 2017, 2015, 2008, 2000, the 1970s, all that type of stuff. And then he like showed like, you know, it's never been done, it's not going to be possible, and he like gave some very good points, and also spoke about the stuff Connor speaks about, you know, like with it being the reserve currency, the debt that's holding it, you know, that all that type of stuff. And I was like, oh. So he also just said like, you know, a lot of the videos that you're seeing on this topic are heavy clickbait driven. You know, they just want views. So it's nothing different that's happened in the past. It's just now, you know, all the YouTube channels are trying to make some money off of it. So I was like, oh, that's a fair point.
What's this about, Jared?
The dollar being replaced.
Oh, yeah, no.
Yeah.
And sometimes what you see is, for example, what Kenya did. I'm not sure if it was their president or the president of or the chairman of their central bank, but he came out and said to his own citizens that the dollar's going down, sell off your dollars. And essentially, he just wanted his own citizens to sell their dollars for cheaper so that he could buy them, so that the central bank could buy those dollars because they needed dollars. So everyone has their motives behind these things, but you have to look at the facts and look at history. You know, there probably will come a time when the dollar is replaced. If you watch Ray Dalio's Changing World Order, very interesting video on this topic, and you'll see that these empires, so America now is obviously in power. They have the world reserve currency, and there's been these empires in the past that hold this strength. Okay, so sorry, I'm just gonna have bar stops on the break of previous 30-minute highs here. So bar stops at 2016.75. So we formed support here on the 30-minute at 2015. If we break above previous 30-minute highs here with London open volume, we've got about 33 pips stops, and we look pretty good here to drive up.
Stop loss, I'm going to put 2013.4. Eh?
Yeah, that's perfect. So yeah, that Ray Dalio video on YouTube about changing world orders, very interesting, and speaks a little bit about the history of other countries, other superpowers that have had that world reserve currency status before, and what's happened to them, the cycles. So, you know, before the dollar was the world reserve currency, there was, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was the pound. And then they obviously had their downfall and the dollar took over. Right now, we could consider that the dollar is potentially on the downfall. Although if you're looking at, the dollar index, if you're looking at the current state of affairs, the dollar is still relatively strong and there's still plenty of world trade being made in dollars. Holy shit, I haven't placed this trade. I'm an
I'm
idiot.
in there.
Well, I've got my bar stop at 0.75. I'm not in yet. Okay, once we re-break this high, I should be in. I'm not in just yet. I'm from Kenya, heard him say, yeah. Yeah, it's very interesting. I'm good. Always happy to be with you guys. Best people. Really appreciate that, man. Thank you for being here. Glad to see you taking something away. That's the biggest thing. That's the idea behind the streams, is to add value. Help at least one person on their journey. So to see that that's the case, that makes it all worth it.
The monster money silence.
Yeah, you know it. Until we end the trade and then we start talking again.
Yeah.
If anybody did get put in here, your previous 5-minute close bullish. If you break that 5-minute low, so break current 30-minute lows, you know, we could come and create a steeper bottom wick on the hourly. With volume, you don't really want us to break these lows, and you could potentially manage if we re-break that low. But like I say, I'm not in here just yet. When it comes to bar stops, you do want to have your bar stops a couple pips above the level you're wanting to break. So here, for instance, that previous 30-minute high was at 2016.5. So to put the bar stop 2.5 pips above, accounting for spread, making sure that you actually are breaking that level, that's extremely important. So I'm not in just yet. Waiting is the most underrated skill in trading. Definitely. A lot of guys just want to take trades all day, every day, all the time. You know, when you come into it, I used to think the market is moving all the time. There's always opportunity. I can catch a trade any day. But as I've grown, you know, there's a lot of days now that I don't take trades. And sometimes in terms of a stream like this, maybe that's not the best in terms of entertainment. I know that guys in the chat want trades. But I trust that someone is taking away the message that patience pays. Having these no trade days is actually extremely important. Not just to preserve your capital, but to preserve your mental. If you are getting into trades every day, sometimes lower probability trades, taking unnecessary losses, and then you come the next day, and that's messing with your psychology. Now you're scared to get involved and to execute on your setups, on your plan. But this day now there's great opportunity, but you are full of fear from yesterday's loss, then you've missed out. Because you damage your own psychology from messing around taking lower probability trades when there wasn't really great opportunity. Now there is, and you just are not mentally fit to actually execute on that. Less is more, 100%. I'm in gold from 2016.5. Stop loss just below previous 15-minute candle. Good stuff. So GJ tapping into 166 there. Nice little rejection. So as we know, London can bring those pullbacks. Maybe we've grabbed liquidity now. We'll just see what happens here. For now, gold is looking a little bit better. Hello, hello.
Word.
Where would you put the stop loss after bar stop on gold? So I'd have my stop loss below the previous 30-minute low here at 2013.4. Just below that low, you know. Give it 2 pips or so. Stop loss is just a safety precaution. if I get triggered in here and we come back to break current candle lows, at that point I'd be closing probably the majority of my position anyway. The only way I would really take a full stop here is if we got a whole lot of volume out of nowhere, and then at least I know my stop loss is there. So just to have it in a logical place where you don't want to see price breaking below. Once we break that low, it completely invalidates the setup. So stop loss is there to invalidate the setup.
Like, I mean, we've seen, it doesn't happen every day, but you see wild price action sometimes when price just literally drops 100 pips in a minute. And your stop loss is there to basically protect you from that. And then, like you said, to invalidate it. The last thing you want is to open up a position without a stop. Some freak news goes on in the world, and then all of a sudden your account's down 50%.
Jesus. DXY is on support. If breaks down, I think we will go up. Do you look on correlations? 100%, I agree with that. I do agree with that. I do look at correlations, but I like to really not look at it too deeply and just kind of get an understanding of the sentiment on the dollar. You know, are we looking strong this morning? Are we not? Right now, you know, we are at a key area. But overall, since, you know, yesterday New York session, we've been, sorry, not yesterday, Monday. Since Monday afternoon, you know, we've been pretty weak here on the dollar. If we break below this area, then I could see further downside, which, yes, I think would result in a further push up on gold. But I think what will really determine if we hold this area 102 today will be CPI. I could see us holding this area up until CPI, and then you either get the breaks below or you get that demand coming back in and we see the moves back up to the highs that were created on Monday. So it looks like we're moving up to break these highs here. 15-minute candle's about to close. Looks like we'll close bullish. Happy to keep my position in through the 15-minute close. Right, so 15 closed weak, bullish, still respecting previous 15-minute lows and created new highs. But overall, pretty low volume. So we'll have to see if we break that high and get some volume. Otherwise, we'll see, it may end up deleting. For now, it's still very much valid. So if I do get triggered in here, I'd like to go break even quite aggressively today with about a 15-14 pip break even point at 2018.25. Just looking at the 15 minute, we had this support level right there, and if you extend this across, you can see some reactions to that level as well.
$20.1825.
Yeah. This 15 didn't have a bottom wick to start with, so we just created a bottom wick now. Let's see if we can break the highs and get a push here. I think if the 30-minute closes bearish, I'll just delete buy stops. Look at GJ doing puts. Very nice reaction of 166. If you're closing back above 166.230, GJ might even be the play here. Obviously, as you can see, this was what was planned out, what was drawn out. Those pullbacks to 166. I'm actually liking that a bit more than gold here. Just didn't read my mind. GJ bars look more probable than gold. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, we're failing to push up here. Kind of just showing signs of exhaustion on the lower time frames. You could still get like another tap into 2015, 2014. Still come up bullish. But you know, with CPI later obviously directly affecting the dollar, we may just see low volume through this session on gold. And that's why I just wanted to wait for what I would consider a setup. And I think this is really clean, but we just don't currently have the volume to continue on up. And GJ also, if you could close above 166.230, I would consider this a pretty good setup as well. GJ obviously has very clear direction, being so bullish. And I mean, this was in the plan. So we'll see how the 30-minute closes. If we close above 166.230, I'm quite interested in the GJ bars. Gold, yeah, not looking great here. I think you might even need to wait for a bullish hourly close. I think that would probably give you a better setup there as well. It would definitely look clean on the hourly if you had a bullish hourly close here first to then move up. But I mean, overall the setup is valid and it was planned out. So I'm just trading my plan. Still got these buy stops in for now. I'll give it a couple more minutes.
To be honest, when it comes to CPI, it would be very interesting to first correct this Asian move that happened.
I don't know, based off the 4 hour here, I wouldn't be too interested. I think this is a move that I would have looked at in the past. You know, this is very clean traffic here. This would be ideal to come down and fill.
No, I don't want to be taking those sells. I'm just saying that it's, you know, just making sure that we've, like, there's no, I don't actually know how to explain it. I'm not going to lie to you. That it would just be nice to correct that impulse to the upside, if you get what I'm saying.
But I mean, we don't have to, that's the thing.
Yeah. I mean, very well, we could create supports and then continue up above that's like 2017 points in this 2025, 2020.
Yeah, this is not looking ideal here. I don't think these buy stops will get activated before the 30-minute close. So I'm going to delete buy stops here. No trades here on gold. Got 6 minutes for this 30-minute candle to close. We are just tapping back into the support. You know, we could get volume coming in, but I highly doubt. Also broke previous 15-minute lows. So no trades here on gold. GJ also not really lining up the way it was just a couple minutes ago. So let's see how the 30-minute candle closes here in 5 minutes. Obviously, if nothing is lining up, I'll just call it a morning. And like Hectorino says, save the bullets for the main event. For the final boss. As discussed, you know, this idea is still valid if we are respecting previous 30-minute lows. But I think you would have much better confirmations if we had a bullish hourly candle closure. Or even if this 30-minute came back and closed bullish, but I think I'll stay out of gold and GJ, to be honest. I think I'm going to call it a day, guys. You know, it's about being selective, quality over quantity. Right now, quality is just getting lower and lower. And if I were to force something now and then volume is just dead, you know, and I know exactly why, because CPI is later, then that just destroys my psychology leading into CPI. So I want to stay fresh. Nothing really lining up as what I would consider an A setup anymore. And I'm not really willing to take any B setups today. Or in these market conditions. So thank you for joining, guys. Like I say, I hope someone's taken something away today. You know, there's not always going to be a trade. I know guys come into these live streams to just get trades. I'm telling you, there's a lot more to take away. Today we've seen that patience pays, and understanding the timing, understanding the fundamental events that lie ahead, and just being patient, more conservative. So no trades this morning, saving the bullets for CPI. Going to be very interesting. I did touch on CPI a little bit earlier, but I'll do a very brief analysis because, you know, I used to do these news streams for the YouTube, but we've started to do them for just members. And if you go back and watch any of the previous news streams, you'll see that they are very insightful. You know, looking for trades based on the data, no buy stops, no sell stops. So it's not something you'll see from your regular live stream. Very insightful stuff, but I'll give you a little bit of an insight to what I would be looking for today. So based off the CPI numbers here, what we really want to focus on is the year-on-year numbers. So CPI year-on-year. Previous was 6%, and they are forecasting 5.1%. So they are forecasting an improvement in inflation. They are forecasting that the numbers have come down, that inflation has come down. So if we are seeing numbers coming out as forecasted, what we saw last time is they came out as forecasted and there was very low volume. So if we are coming out at 5.1 on the dot, or anywhere close to 5.1, between the forecasted and previous, closer to 5.1, then I would expect to see quite low volume and just be a little bit more conservative at that point. If we are coming out higher than previous, I would expect that to bring strength to the dollar. As discussed, higher inflation will relate to the markets pricing in a higher probability of Fed raising rates at the next FOMC meeting. That's what they look forward to in these kind of news events. Inflation numbers. It's not just, oh, the markets are reacting because there's high inflation. It's based off the fact that these numbers are telling us what the Fed will do at the next FOMC. So if we have higher inflation, that means that the Fed still needs to raise rates. There's a higher probability they raise rates at the next meeting, and that'll bring strength to the dollar. So higher than 6% here, I would expect to see DXY respecting 102, and like I say, getting that move to the upside. Then on gold, that could easily relate to further downside, correcting that move through Asian. But higher time frame here, we need to understand that gold is actually quite bullish at the moment, and that if we do get those moves to the downside with a higher CPI, they could be short-lived, because at this point, like I say, we've kind of reached a tipping point where gold is now being treated more as a safe haven during these times of economic uncertainty, with higher inflation, with Feds needing to raise rates more, which is damaging to an economy. It's gotten to a point where this kind of stuff can lead to more demand in gold. So we may see those short-term sell-offs with higher CPI, but inevitably probably setting up for better buys. Then if numbers are coming out better than or lower than forecasted, then that will lead to dollar weakness, because that could give us indications that the Fed may cut rates, they may pause at the next meeting, and that will lead to dollar weakness. So then I think we just, we can expect to see further upside here on gold. But yeah, very interesting times. Like I say, last year, markets are moving a little bit differently to what we saw last year, as now gold has seen a lot more demand as the economy is taking more strain from these increased rate hikes. So we're seeing a little bit of inverse to what we saw last year. But in terms of the dollar, any dollar pairs, these ideas will obviously be the same. So higher inflation, stronger dollar. So that means GU sells, Euro USD sells, USD CAD buys, and the likes. Improved CPI, so lower than 5.1. Expect to see further dollar weakness. Breaks below 102 on dollar index. GU buys, Euro USD buys, USD CAD sells with the news. But wait for those numbers to come out. Don't gamble, and just safe trading, everybody. Obviously CPI extremely volatile, so lower your risk, take it easy, and don't do anything silly. Thanks for joining, guys. Good luck with CPI. See you tomorrow.